Hi everyone and welcome to another episode by Poor Man Gamer. Today is episode 8, I believe, of Learning from the Greats, and we're going to take a look at Shuukit from Gibraltar, even though he has a German flag. Shuukit, I highlighted him, a couple of you guys in my Discord channel, Alarak, Ron, a big shout out to you guys. You pointed out Striker VX as somebody to feature, but I wasn't able to find him. And so as soon as I do, I definitely will check him out. I remember playing him once and he crushed me. He was a great player. I wanted to feature Shuukit because he kind of symbolizes what Poor Man Gamer and the whole channel is about, which is using low level units, or not just necessarily low level units, but like something that's attainable for free-to-play players, that kind of deck, that kind of style. And the one thing that I want to try to get everyone to take away from this is look at his patience and the way he bunches up his troops, okay? As an old song used to say, get it right, get it tight. And that's exactly what Shuukit does all the time. He literally gets it right and gets it tight every single battle. Notice how the entire match, he loves to bunch his units together so that he focuses on one target at a time. Now, he's not perfect by any match, right? But look at the way he plays it, right? By keeping it right, keep it tight, he allows himself to play the right matchup, blocks him off at the right time, and survives a level 13 jump jet squad. So now it gets a little messy here. That sniper is now out on the map, which is level 15, very, very deadly. And his level 12 type harvester is getting pressured by the level 15 jump jet on the top there. So he wisely uses the drones to counter his sniper, and he uses the rifleman to clear out the jump jet. And look at that timing here. He's now also stuck against a double harvester. So he does a really good job here by countering with a APC. He moves his militant in place to act as a body block so that his APC can actually get onto that tile and doesn't get himself completely blocked by the pit bulls. Right? Now, once he's in place, these APCs are very difficult to dislodge. He's still using his drones very, very well, and he's keeping the missile going. He's using a Lieutenant Strongarm to defend himself, give him a little more fortification. I felt that Gazeria's Mr. Whale could have done more to pressure his harvester, but he didn't. And notice how earlier on, because he's able to move his APC on the spot, he has now got a drone on his snipers, he's got the rifleman there, and now he smartly rolls out an orca and bang, 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 takes out the orca, and able to win this missile just in a nick of time, right? So well done whale hunting, Shuukit. A great win against Gazeers. I'm going to show you a couple other matches here. They're against very credible opponents. I'm only focusing on his GDI deck because I felt his Nod play was... his Nod deck here is actually pretty good. It's a little different because he's got level 14 tanks and all maxed out level 13s. I believe if you start your game from day one and you complete your challenges every day and you win all the tournaments and you use the diamonds wisely, this is attainable. If you're kind of like me, starting the game in December or January and you start a little later, not as much. Even though he has higher level deck here, he actually still does a really good job, right? Because Hey Pro is a pretty good player. So check it out here. Notice how he's very, very patient, and he does not engage the war dogs unless he feels like he has a matchup advantage. He rolls out his bike here to engage the war dog. He go ahead and look, instead of rushing his laser squad in, which is what I would have done, he's still very, very patient to get himself in the right position. He does outrolls the tank, right, and that's gonna make it a matchup nightmare. He notices the rifleman doesn't do anything now, so he sends it in to commit suicide. He uses the bike to block off the shockwave, and notice how he's wisely going after the tank, which is the biggest threat. When I say get it right, get it tight, look what he does on the top there, right? Notice how he bunches up his troops, and he keeps it right by keeping it tight. He bunches his troops all together, all the time, right? And there you go with the matchup. He's completely got the top blocked off. His shockwave isn't really contributing anything whatsoever, because he's overplaying it by trying to go after that laser squad, right? And because of that, he sacrificed his harvester, but he won the missile. With a deck like he has here, Losing a harvester is not the end of the world. And so now he's got 2 fully healthy tanks, and he's played his matchup really, really well this entire time. Notice how the amount of patience he has. He tries to go 2-on-1 when he can. If he can't get the right matchup, he backs it off. With the tanks, again, look. He's 2-on-1. K-Pro's a little sloppier. Notice how the tank was targeting the wrong thing, right? It was shooting at the cyber wheels instead of shooting at the enemy tank. So even though they're level 14 tanks, it wasn't the level advantage here that really got him the win. Okay, look at the solidarity. Look at how solid this is. He rose up the healthier tank first to draw fire, and then rose up the weaker tank after. You see that? So now he's able to keep his tank alive. Again, healthy tank on the top first, weaker tank on the bottom, in order to try to get this missile. Now, as a matchup, you notice that he's now getting himself into a tank war. He smartly rolls out a Banshee, which his Predator tanks have no answer for, right? Which is pretty genius in my opinion. And look at here, because he's able to focus on that one tile, right? Now he can focus on getting that second tile. He rolls his Banshee on, and because of his incredible patience earlier on and getting the right matchup, bang, 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 there it is. He's on 2 tiles. With the Banshees, he's got all the matchup advantage. He's just going to shred the War Dogs. And at this stage, Hey-Pro is just getting desperate. He's not going to pick up this win, especially with 2 Banshees now on the map, right? They're going to make real quick work of those pit bows, and that's the end of that. So, Shuukit, well done. Kind of reminds me of Dragon... Oh, actually, it's Shuukit. No, sorry, Street Fighter. He goes, Shuukit! You know, shooting the fireball. But anyway, maybe it means something else in Gibraltar. I'm going to go through 2 more matches with you guys, because I felt that they were against worthy opponents. This one, we're going to take a look at his match against 0 Hour. Again, remember, the whole point of this video, and something that we can all take away from, is get it right, get it tight. Alright? So check out look what he does here. 0 Hour, it's a very reputable player. Very, very good player. I played him once or twice. You know, got my butt kicked. He's a good player. Right? I assure you. Ooh. So, in this game, Shuukit gets off to a bad start. And the reason I say he gets off to a bad start is because it was a little over patient, if that makes any sense. Right? Where he waited a little bit too long before he engaged the missile, and he allowed 0 Hour to charge it up. He couldn't get it in time. Right, and you're going to see that's exactly what happens. 0 Hour blocks him off really, really well. He tries to roll out at the last second and get on the tile, right? But his bike was a little bit faster, and even though he had the tank out, he was just a little bit too slow. So he was able to win the matchup, but he lost the missile. And so, sometimes it's just the way it goes. Nobody's a perfect player. I love how he's able to defend his tank by hiding his stealth tank, so getting the stealth tank to fire on his infantry instead. Remember what I said about get it right, get it tight? Check this out. See that? Laser squads are able to reveal stealth tanks, and by keeping it all bunched up together, get it right, get it tight, right? That's his policy right now. Right? Shuukit, get it right, get it tight. Notice how he's able to focus as best he can on that chem buggy, and then when he doesn't have the matchup advantage, he backs it off. See that? Get it right, get it tight. Look at the way he goes. Backs it off. Very, very smart. Oh, go away. And take a look at here. He rolls out his rifleman, and he's able to defend against that chem buggy. Now that the chem buggies are off the map, up he goes. See that? Real smart player. In the right matchup. Stealth tank is going to get revealed by those infantry, which means the tank is going to be able to fire on it. He smartly maneuvers his tank in a way so that the laser squads have trouble targeting them. Not to say that they can't hit them, they absolutely can, right? But they're struggling. Bang! Because it got revealed and he forced a stealth tank to run across the tile there. He's able to get a couple shots on his stealth tank, and look at that. Stealth tank is almost dead before it fired off his first shot. So now there's a stealth tank once again. Scorpion tank finishing off that stealthy. There's the Scorpion tank once again, doing layman's work, doing real good work there. He does a swap because he sees the chem buggy coming, and out comes the Scorpion tank to go on the bottom. He's focusing fire on that chem buggy, which is going to be a pain for his infantry. He does a real good job here. The missile's almost there. So he goes ahead and he rolls out his flame troops with his drill pot. And notice how here he uses both tanks, keeping it right, keeping it tight, by basically forming a wall. See that? After the tank is done, bang! There it is. Bikes down, forms a wall on the top, does not give him a chance to contest that top missile. Get it right, get it tight. And check out this matchup. Check out this patient. I'm going to pause it here for a second. Check out this alignment right now. He's got 2 tanks against a bike that's incoming, so he's not in position yet. He's got a flame squad right there ready to engage the missile squad if necessary. And that rifleman's going to lose to that flame squad on the top. And notice how he's got the laser squad on the top fighting the bike. Very, very good timing. Right? And there he is again with the flame squad. He runs it across. Right? And now he's going to go ahead and go 2-on-1 against that rifleman. Even though he didn't need to. Right? He makes real quick work of him. The cyber wheel is going to roll down to the bottom to finish off. He's going to let the weaker tank still surviving, keeping his economy going. And look at the economy difference. 0 hour is almost bankrupt with Shuukit because he's able to keep his units alive this whole time. He's barely lost a unit, right? So now he doesn't even need a harvester. And the only thing he could have really improved on was sacrifice that harvester. Move it right to the pad. That's what I would have done. But anyway, he rolls out his tank again. He's halfway through that missile. Notice the timing here. He's able to assess what's on the map before he rolls out his troops. He sees 2 chem buggy and a stealth tank. The scorpion tank is their natural counter against him. He's focusing on the missile squad. He made a mistake there. Instead of targeting the stealth tank, he targets the missile squad. Oh, sorry, laser squad. Right. And now there it is again with the wall. He's very close to winning the entire map, where he goes up at the top. 0 hour has got no economy left. He forms a wall, right? And there's basically no chance now for a 0 hour to contest, and he basically just gives up at this point. So Shuukit, amazing player. Get it right, get it tight, right? So if y'all are learning something from this video or to have anything to take away, this is something you definitely can do, is to get it right, get it tight, keep your troops together, right? Instead of impatiently forcing the issue here, be patient, hold back, and play the right matchup. I'm going to show you his loss as well against Big Boss. I'm pretty sure this guy's a whale, because I don't know how else you get level 15 avatars, right? It's crazy. So let's take a look here. I think what Shuukit is doing here is something that's very attainable to all free-to-play players. You may not get level 13 and 14 units, but notice how all the units he uses are either commons or rares. They're units that we can all actually get, right? So y'all out there, if you think that Shuukit's a whale, yeah, he probably may have spent a few dimes here and there, but his lineup is very reasonable, right? If you make that commitment to play every day, win the daily challenges, and win all your tournaments, right, by going 10-0, you can pretty much get his deck as well. And he does a pretty good job here. He takes out that cyber wheel fairly well, and he goes ahead and plays his right matchup. He sees the second harvester rollout, which is why he's trying to apply a little bit more pressure. And notice how that he was able to force the issue here by winning that first missile, yet keeping the tank alive. So there it is again. He maneuvers and micros his tank really, really well. Right, he is trying his absolute best to get in there. I can see that, right? But you can also see that with level 15 tanks against level 14 tanks, the 15 is obviously going to win, and he's doing everything he can to pressure him. Right, with a double harvester, it's actually really hard once they're set like this. So there it is with the matchup. He's trying to body block with the rifleman. Right, he's doing everything he can to wipe out that tank, but he just got no chance against those charges. And you can tell that Big Boss is not a great player as you think, because he prematurely charges up his tanks quite often to try to rush it onto the battlefield. A lot of pro players or even higher skill players, I should say, are able to anticipate even more. See, there it is again, rushing out the tank, right, just to get one shot off. Where's the advantage in that? So there's the rifleman, and he knows a chem buggy is coming, so you can definitely tell he is trying his best to get a tank across the field there. But there's only so much you can do when you're completely outgunned here, right? So he goes ahead, and he's trying to steal the second missile. Unfortunately, that chem buggy charged up, was able to get in position first. Get it right, get it tight. Notice how he's challenging one pad at a time. He gets with a chem buggy. He's on 2 tiles. He almost has it. He made a mistake there by sneaking out to the top. If he swapped positions with that laser squad, I don't know if you saw at the top there. If he swapped positions, laser squad with that tank, he would have won this missile already. That one mistake there that he made cost him the match. So look, he still has an opportunity to win. If he can get there in time, he doesn't. But if only he could have gotten there in time, he would have gotten this match. So he's still contesting this missile very, very well, right? He's doing the best he can to dislodge that stealth tank, and unfortunately he wasn't able to get the win. And there it is again with the pressure. He's trying his best to pressure his harvester, but I mean, he's so down in his economy right now with that freaking chem buggy being rolled out and wiping out all of his laser squads. There is not much he can really do. And notice how his tank, his harvester is completely surrounded. So he's doing everything he can right now to pressure that harvester. Right? I would have kept firing on that harvester, and he did. He blew up, unfortunately. Nothing you can really do. So now he's trying his best to make a comeback. Big Boss does a really pretty good job here blocking off his harvester. And as you can see, Shuukit is literally doing everything he can to gain his economy back. But when you're up against level 15 tanks and level 15 stealth tanks, like, that's pretty tough. He gets his economy back. If the avatar comes out, he gets taunted. You're not going to win at this stage of the game with a level 15 avatar on the map, right? And the game's over at this stage. So, Shuukit, you played as well a match as you could have against Big Boss, considering the levels you had, and a way to keep it right, get it tight, right? So guys, if you're watching this video, thank you so much. Have yourself a wonderful day. Take care.